Hi, I'm Pam and I'm here to talk about retro video games. When you think of gaming mascots, you probably think of Mario, Sonic, maybe even Crash Bandicoot, but today I'm looking at the first game of one of the lesser-known mascots. It's Bonk's Adventure. The original Bonk's Adventure was developed by Red Company and Atlas and released in North America in 1990 for the TurboGrafx-16. It's a side-scrolling platformer in a prehistoric setting. You play the caveman Bonk, who is out to save the princess, which seemed to be the only story idea anyone could think of at this time. She's been kidnapped by the evil King Drool. Of course, you don't find out any of this in-game until you actually save her. In many ways, Bonk is a typical platformer, but it attempts to distinguish itself from the others in the way that Bonk defeats his enemies. He uses the old noggin. Yep, Bonk uses his massive cranium to bash his enemies. There are three main ways to attack like this. The first is a basic standing headbutt. The second is to jump in the air and dive bomb down on enemies, and the last is to jump and attack from below. Jumping headbutts can be chained together if you get your timing right. Another cool mechanic is that you can spin jump, which will increase the distance that Bonk can jump by continuously pressing the 2 button or using the turbo switch for maximum effect. Bonk can be powered up by eating meat. After eating one piece of meat, his headbutt will be more powerful, and he'll be able to freeze enemies by headbutting the ground. If he eats 2 pieces of meat, he'll become invincible, and will take out enemies by running through them. These power-ups last for a limited amount of time, and will wear off. Bonk can also scale walls with his teeth. You latch onto a wall and climb it by continuously pressing 2. Honestly, I find this a little weird, and just watching it makes my own teeth hurt. Bonk starts off with 3 hearts, and if you lose them all, you lose one of your 3 lives. One thing I really like is that when you lose a life, you get to continue from exactly where you were, without interruption. This is especially appreciated during boss fights. If you lose all your lives, you get a game over, but have access to unlimited continues. Continuing will bring you back to the start of the level you are working on, as opposed to the individual stage in the level. So, if you get a game over during the boss fight, you do have to replay quite a bit in order to get back to where you were. You can replenish lost health by picking up fruits and vegetables, or hearts that you find in flowers. There are even a couple opportunities to extend your life by 1 heart, though these are well hidden. Bonk's Adventure has 5 levels, each made up of multiple different stages. At the end of each level, there is a boss fight. There are also hidden bonus levels that give challenges, such as collecting fruits and vegetables, or hitting volcano rocks with your head. These give you bonus points, which can lead to extra lives. The levels all have the same prehistoric feel, but they do offer variety, such as underwater stages, ice stages, and some that take place underground, or even inside of terrified dinosaurs. The levels look great, with a lot of use of color, good animations, and a lot of stuff appearing on screen at once without any noticeable slowdown. With no run button, the flow of the game is slower and more deliberate than a number of comparable platformers, sometimes even a little too slow. A number of animations just seem to take too long. If you attempt to do a jumping headbutt and miss, Bonk will land on his head and be stuck there for a second, becoming temporarily vulnerable. This pause feels a little too long. Scaling walls takes a while, and more than one stage uses this mechanic excessively. There's also a relatively long animation when Bonk eats meat. It's a cool looking animation the first couple times, but then it just seems unnecessary. There are also these incredibly annoying aquatic dinosaurs who will attempt to eat you, leaving you to furiously mash buttons until they spit you out. If you can get past this feeling of stop and start though, Bonk is generally a fun game. The level design is decent, with a variety of obstacles to overcome, and little bonuses and secrets to find. So why isn't Bonk as well known in North America as some of gaming's other mascots? Well, there are a few reasons, and it has a lot to do with exposure. While the TurboGrafx was very popular in Japan, where it was called the PC Engine, it didn't do nearly as well in North America. It was initially meant as a competitor for the NES, over which it boasted a 16-bit graphics chip and much better audio and visuals, but it ended up in competition with the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis instead. The TurboGrafx, made by Hudson Soft and NEC, didn't have a lot of brand awareness. While Hudson Soft was known for making some great games like Bomberman and Adventure Island, they weren't known for hardware, and NEC wasn't well known outside of Japan. While the console initially sold alright in North America, it was hurt by a lack of third-party support and the high cost of its CD add-on. While Bonk's Adventure was the best-selling TurboGrafx 16 game in North America, that still didn't put the character on the level of a Mario or a Sonic. Bonk's Adventure was ported to the NES, where the number of levels were reduced and it obviously didn't look as good. While the sprites were similar, the backgrounds could not compare to the original version. There were also ports for the Game Boy and Amiga, and Super Bonk released on the Super Nintendo. In 1992, Air Zonk, a futuristic version of Bonk, became NEC's new mascot. I can think of another reason Bonk never got all that popular, and this one is a more personal opinion, but I find Bonk kind of nightmare-inducing. He's this weird, big-head, man-baby looking creature. He climbs walls with his protruding incisors, and his death animation involves him foaming at the mouth. Overall, he's just unpleasant to look at. Bonk is a fairly fun platformer, minus a few animations and actions that take a little too long, and it looks great. Though in North America, Bonk never got the attention of other gaming mascots, his first adventure is worth a play. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to see more, check out my review of Blazing Lasers on the TurboGrafx, or one of my favorite Hudson Soft games, Felix the Cat. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.